The original being asks, what/who inspired you to get your trademark hairstyle? Oh wait, there's no tears yet. Hang on. Just give me...
Hello, darkness, my friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Hi there guys, it's Martyn here, and yes, your eyes doth not deceive you, I have considerably shorter hair. You could either call this my 2007 Britney moment, or you could just call it a shorter than planned haircut. I'll let you be the judge. But either way, welcome back to the 20th edition of the Sunday Catch-Up. And as usual, we're going to get right into your questions very soon, but of course we're going to do a quick video recap of the week. So this Tuesday we had another episode of the Now Review, specifically looking at Now That's What I Call Remix, a very interesting, very niche album in the Now spin-offs, I believe, so please do check that out if you haven't already. And of course this Friday we had the return of the IDENT review, looking at the 60th anniversary presentation of ITV. I have had a lot of comments saying that these were mocks and these were, you know, not broadcast on TV. And I haven't done some digging yet. I've been very busy this week. I've worked a lot. I'm so tired, hence why the shades. But if that is fake, I do apologise, but at least we've had a look at a really good mock, so to speak. But now, let's get right into your questions. So I am going to probably speed through a lot of these. I've had a lot of questions, which is great, and I want to try and make sure everyone has theirs answered. So let's get right into it with Nathan Simpson, who says, did you ever watch the Hoobs on Channel 4 or the CBeebies reruns of Tots TV? I didn't need the CBeebies reruns of Tots TV, Nathan. I was the OG. That was the whitest thing I've ever said. Wow, let's never say that again. I didn't really watch Tots TV on the TV. I had a lot of the tapes, so I didn't need to watch it on the TV, so no, I didn't see the reruns. As for the Hoobs, they were on really early. They were on at like 6 AM on Channel 4, so if I was up really early, because I used to get up quite early, then yeah, I'd switch over and watch the Hoobs, otherwise I'd be stuck with CFAX until 7, and I was a dumb kid and I didn't know how to get off CFAX, so yeah, the Hoobs are just, again, bizarre. Aaron Palkovics, apologies if I've got that wrong, gave me some nice comments about the IDENT reviews for BBC Prime. He asks, can you do a review on the BBC World or 1998 BBC Choice idents? And what's your favourite BBC Prime ident? With the World and Choice idents, they have been candidates for episodes, and they probably will be over time. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled, those episodes will come to the IDENT review. As for my favourite BBC Prime one, it has got to be the first one from 1995. I just love the whole diamond gem sort of look to it. It's got a lot of sophistication, a lot of class, a lot of premiumness about it, so probably that one. A few questions from SKS 2002. First being, are you a fan of the band called The Prodigy? Not really, it's not that kind of music I'm into, unfortunately. 2, I would like to see a collaboration with you and Bob the Fish Productions. Yeah, I had a look at Bob's channel and interesting content. Again, I don't really know the channel that well, but I mean, if he hits me up, we'll have to talk. 3, have you ever seen a video sharing site called Vidly? It looks a lot like the old YouTube layout. No, not really. I primarily stick to YouTube. I know there's a lot of other sources out there, but despite all its problems, YouTube is probably the best site for uploading content and also trying to earn a bit of money off it as well. Michael the YouTube Joker says, got a good question. Are you a member on TV forums since you're a fan of TV presentation? I'm actually not. I never really did forums back in the day, and I don't really now. I just find, because you get spammed with a lot of notifications, and I love the interaction, it's fantastic there, but it's just not really something I want to delve into. I've got a lot of other things to do as well as be on a forum. DJ Rodney asked 2 questions. First being, have you heard a TV show called Super Sentai? Very similar to Power Rangers. Yes, I have. Super Sentai was actually the inspiration for Power Rangers. So the first series we got was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in 1993. And what happened there was a guy called Saban, who got the rights, of course, he took Super Sentai footage and then, you know, added the live action scenes of the characters and then just combined it with the footage that already existed from Japan, and there you have Power Rangers. So yeah, there's a reason why Super Sentai is similar, because it basically is Power Rangers, but the original Japanese version. And 2, what is your favourite video on YouTube? I don't actually have a favourite video that I'd rewatch constantly. I do like a lot of documentary videos on YouTube. One channel I followed for probably nearly a decade now is The Gaming Historian, which is a guy called Norman Caruso, and he does, as suggested, history videos on gaming. And I followed him for about a decade, so if you haven't seen him, check out his channel, he makes great content. It's the Grass Monster 17 says, do you think having a girl doctor for Doctor Who is right? Absolutely it's right. It's been in the show for decades that Time Lords can be any gender or look however they want to look, so the fact a woman is playing the Doctor, it doesn't really matter. It's great from a social perspective that this is, you know, we're breaking boundaries here, but in terms of is it right? Of course it's right. Yeah, of course it is. It's not wrong. Any sort of casting wouldn't be wrong as such, and I think Jodie's going to be absolutely brilliant. 7th of October, we have a date as well, so keep your calendars. Sunday, the 7th of October.
It's almost like someone made a video about Doctor Who maybe moving to Sundays about 6 months ago, so you should definitely go and check that out.
Dr. Floyd03 has a few questions for me. One being, what's my favourite story from each Doctor? This question was actually really good, but I'm actually probably going to make a separate video on it detailing why, because I do love Doctor Who, and actually my favourite episodes from each Doctor would probably make a great video. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled, I'll probably make that at some point. 2, which is your favourite now from 1 to 20? I didn't really have a concrete answer for this, but I've been listening to some old Nows recently. Now 17 is a damn good record. I was listening to it, that was from early 1990, and there's a lot of great songs on there, so at the minute it's probably Now 17, but it does fluctuate. 3, have you seen The Great Escape? I actually haven't, I do own it on DVD, but it is a very long movie and I feel I need the time to sit down and appreciate it. I'll probably try and watch it this Christmas. And finally, who's better, Queen or George Michael? In my opinion, Queen. I have more of an affinity to Queen, to their music. George Michael is fantastic, gone too soon, just as Freddie was, but I personally prefer Queen. Moonwalker for life. The first question being, do you like Britney Spears? If you do, what's her favourite song by her? You know, we all liked a bit of Britney back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Not so much her new stuff. Don't really have a favourite song. I've never been that into her. Second question being, do you like JLS? If you do, what's your favourite song by them? Oh, here's a confession. I pretty much loved JLS when they burst on the scene. They only had a few years active from like 2008 when they were on the X Factor to I think 2012 or 13. But I bought all their albums. I liked all their songs. I mean, I like She Makes Me Wanna from the Jukebox album. Also, like, That's Where She's Coming from their Out of This World album, which was never a single, but it's a very good song. Luke Sheppy asked, do you remember watching the TV and it's suddenly being interrupted by a newsflash? I think I answered a similar question last week about, have I seen any news flashes? I've never seen a direct interruption, like a program just cutting off, but I have seen the end of one program being like faded out or cut into another of a newsflash. Clygro has a few questions. The first being, do you think Bubbles the Clown is creepy? No idea who that is. Question 2, do you find kinda odd that David Attenborough has such a major significance to BBC Two? Not really, I mean, just before he became a narrator and a broadcaster, he was the controller of BBC Two in some of its earliest days, so it is like a strange coincidence, but I think that's really cool that he's had this long-standing history with the company in general. 3, do you find Bubbles the Clown similar to Mr. Blobby? I wish I knew who Bubbles was. I'm recording this now, so I can't really Google. Let me come back to you next week if you remind me. Hassanain Junaid, again sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, has a few in separate comments. First being, did you watch Sonic Underground when I was a kid? Yes I did, it was a great show. Also, have you watched the Sarah Jane Adventures? Again, yes I did, fantastic show, ended far too soon because poor Liz Sladen passed away. Have you watched Once Upon a Time? No I haven't, not really my kind of show. And then I've got a lot of questions here, and I believe, sir, you've commented this several times before on many of my videos, and I'm just not going to answer them just to see if you keep commenting them. Itoji, do you see this question? I see. Back with these sort of questions, I love it. Despite my poor partial vision, yes, I see your question. Time Lord Master 108 has a few more questions for me, being, did you ever find the VCI VHS logo creepy? Yeah, I mentioned this in a few Sunday catch-ups ago. It's one of the few video logos I remember. Never found it creepy, I guess, just a bit ominous. As you say, very eerie. It's a very eerie sort of sequence, so definitely check it out if you want a sort of, well, not a scare, just sort of a weird time watching it. And 2, have you ever watched the 1989 animated BFG movie? If so, what did you think of it? Well, what did I think of it? I mean, it's a fun movie. It definitely shows its age now, bless it. The animation isn't that good. But I think it was debuted for TV back in '89 on Christmas Day, I believe, on ITV. But you know, it's a fun movie, some fun songs, some nice songs, but I haven't seen the Spielberg version that came out a few years ago. I think it was Spielberg who did it anyway, but yeah, it's fun enough. Tyler Toons asks, what do you think is the best ident you've reviewed so far? Some of the most fun I've had doing is definitely the CBBC idents, because that took me back on a childhood spree, and yeah, they're probably the most fun ones, and probably some of the best, because they're so much diverse over time, but I've got a lot of idents to cover in the future. Ninky0500 says, happy 20th episode, thank you very much. He asks, do you have plans on doing more idents from channels that aren't on the 5 terrestrials? I've had this question a lot, and yes, that is. The 5 main channels are sort of like my comfort zone, it's what I know a lot about, and because I try and make these videos once a week, I have to sort of have a plan of what I'm going to do, and some weeks, understandably, due to whatever, I've had to be a bit more rushed with picking a topic, so I've gone with my safe zone. I'm probably going to cover at some point idents from Bravo, which is a channel that I've had a lot of requests for, UK TV as well, so don't worry, I will branch out, it just might, you know, be spaced out with the 5 terrestrial channels as well. He also asks, what's your favourite UK game show moment ever? Oh, I don't remember, I never really saw any moments, like I never saw any big winners or anything like that, so I'm afraid I can't really answer that one, because I feel, you know, you can watch clips on YouTube all day, but I feel if I'm going to answer that properly, it would have to be a moment I would have seen live, if that makes sense. Daniel Scarlett has a few questions, so 1. What was your favourite kids game show when you were young? 50-50, check it out. I mean, UK game show, just give it a watch, it was great. 2. What is your favourite musical of all time? Call me like standard, but probably something like Les Miserables. 3. What is your favourite Disney Pixar movie of all time? Pixar is definitely A Bug's Life, it's such an underrated movie, so if you haven't seen A Bug's Life you need to go and watch it. Probably Disney, The Lion King or Beauty and the Beast. The originals, not these remakes that they're doing. 4. Which classic game show would you want to see make a comeback on TV? I want Millionaire to have a proper run after this 20th anniversary special we had, or The Weakest Link, because they're both 2 key game shows from me growing up and that I really enjoy, so hopefully they'll make a comeback. And 5. Was there a favourite CITV show you liked when you were young? I never really watched CITV, I was always a CBBC kid. If I had to pick any, on the odd times I flicked over, maybe My Parents Are Aliens, that show was kind of fun. But I just thought CBBC had, in general, better shows. I'm not going to pronounce this name, but the person has already said they're from Poland, so that I don't have to pronounce it, so thank you very much. But they asked, what do you think about 15 to 1? It's my favourite game show. Not really familiar with 15 to 1, I'm not really helpful this week, am I? I'll give it a look, but 15 to 1, I've heard of it, but I've never really watched it. So I'll check it out. The original being already answered your first question. Well, I didn't really. What inspired the hairstyle? Well, I never really liked having hair in front of my eyes. My hair always tends to lie flat, so I'd just stick it up to get it out my hair, and I eventually got good at sticking it up. It was awful when I started, believe you me. But also, like, I don't know, I just like having it spiked up. I thought it looked cool in a way, and it seems a lot of you guys do too. So don't worry about this short hair. Hair does grow back, so give it a month or so, we'll be back in business. 2. The video collection or VCI? VCI. Do you have any favourite VHS promos? Not in particularly, I mean, I've seen so many in my time, it's hard to pick one. 4. Have you got any ideas for a Doctor Who spin-off? Not at the moment, but honestly, I don't think we need a Doctor Who spin-off. I think this whole thing with relaunching the show with Jodie needs to be on its own, so nothing like Class or anything like that. I just think we need a few years now where the show is on its own, it's doing what it's doing, and then maybe later down the line another spin-off. Bill O'Dwyer asks, what show should be revived for an anniversary? Well, we've had Millionaire. You'd think Weakest Link could do one. That could be done in 2020 for that show's 20th anniversary. That would be pretty cool. The IDENT Fan 101 Wayside and Horseland fan has 5 more questions. What's your opinion on Inspector Gadget, and have you heard of Inspector Gadget's Field Trip? Never heard of Inspector Gadget's Field Trip, and on Inspector Gadget, yeah, it was a fun show, bit predictable, but fun nonetheless. 2. What's your favourite Chucklevision episode? God, there were so many, wasn't there? Can't really pick one, I've seen so many, but I mean, let's just talk about Barry Chuckle, rest in peace, gone far too soon, so that is a great shame. 3. Did you watch Arthur the Cramp Twins, Yvonne of the Yukon and Trolls on CBBC? I watched all of those. Oh my god, I didn't think anyone else watched Trolls. Trolls was definitely marketed as being like a girls show, but it was good fun. I mean, it was welcome to the Trolls world, I think was the theme, and I've probably just lost a lot of people singing that. But yeah, I watched all of those, all fantastic shows. Arthur's still going, of course, and the others are definitely products of their time. Did you watch Toonatic on CITV? If shows, what did you watch? Yes, that was the, I say CITV, that was the only thing that would keep me going there on the weekends for a while. I just watched whatever they had on. I would make sure I was there for Yu-Gi-Oh! Big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. And what's your favourite BBC One rhythm and movement ident? For rhythm and movement, I do like the ballet one. It's just so peaceful and calm and the location's beautiful. So yeah, probably ballet. And Bailey the Hoovian says, what was your first Now soundtrack? And don't say it's a vinyl, the actual CD. And take those glasses off! Well, sorry Bailey, I'm going to have to keep them on because I do have bad vision, and without those big glasses I won't be able to see. And I kind of like having vision, so I'm going to keep them on. I hope the sunglasses appease you somewhat. My first Now, if you want the actual CD, was Now 70, which was released in 2008. I got it for Christmas, even though it came out in the summer, and that is always going to be my first Now, and it's a pretty damn good Now as well. As always, thank you very much for asking them. Leave your comments down below for questions. At the sake of these videos not getting too long, depending on how we do, I might limit the questions next week in the sense I might only answer the first 10 or 15. I'm not trying to exclude anyone, it's just I get these videos can be very long and some people don't like the very long videos, so I'm just trying to balance it out, so to speak. But please do check out the channel in the coming weeks. You'll have the Now review, the IDENT review, maybe some other things in there as well if I get time. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. We're on 2,200 subscribers, which is incredible. Let's keep pushing on upwards, and like the video, subscribe, share it around, support your house. I'm a Ravenclaw if you couldn't already tell. And until the next video, I will see you guys next time.